In today's video, we'll be answering the question, why did the Maya collapse? The Maya were an amazing civilization. They had incredible architecture, knowledge of astronomy and mathematics, and a complex social structure. But somehow between 250 AD and 900 AD, they went from being one of the most advanced civilizations in the world to completely disappearing. So why did it happen? Hello, and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to take a look at the Maya and try to answer the question, why did the Maya collapse? We will be looking at the various theories that have been put forward by experts over the years. But ultimately, there is no single reason that can explain the collapse of this great civilization. The Maya civilization was located in what is today the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico, as well as parts of Belize, Guatemala, and El Salvador. At its peak, the civilization covered an area of about 400,000 square kilometers and had a population of around 10 million people. The Maya are known for their impressive cities, which were often built in the middle of the jungle. The most famous Maya city is Tikal, which is now a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The Maya civilization had a complex social structure that was divided into three classes: the nobility, the merchants and artisans, and the commoners. The nobility were the rulers and their families who controlled the government and the economy. They lived in palaces and had great wealth. The merchants and artisans were the middle class, and they traded goods and made crafts. The commoners were the farmers and laborers who grew food and built the great cities. The Maya civilization was highly advanced for its time. They had a sophisticated understanding of mathematics and astronomy, and they developed a writing system that is still deciphered today. The Maya also had a complex religion that was based on the worship of nature. They believed that the world was created by a series of gods, and they worshipped many different deities, including the sun, the moon, and the earth. The Maya civilization reached its peak between 250 AD and 900 AD. During this time, the cities were at their largest and most impressive, and the population was at its greatest. However, after 900 AD, the Maya civilization began to decline. The cities were abandoned and the population decreased dramatically. So why did this happen? There are many theories to explain the collapse of the Maya civilization, but ultimately there is no single reason that can explain all of the changes that took place during this time period. It is likely that a combination of factors led to the decline of the Maya, and these factors varied over time. One theory to explain the collapse of the Maya civilization is the climate change theory. This theory suggests that a change in climate caused the Maya to abandon their cities and flee to the countryside. According to this theory, the change in climate caused the soil to become less fertile, which led to food shortages and eventually starvation. The Maya were unable to grow enough food to sustain themselves in their cities, so they were forced to abandon them and live in the countryside where there was more wild food available. Evidence for this theory includes the fact that during the dry season, which lasts from February to May, the Maya would travel to the coast to fish and gather shellfish. This suggests that they were looking for alternative sources of food when the soil in their fields could not produce enough. Additionally, the Maya kept domesticated animals such as turkeys, dogs, and pigs. This suggests that they were trying to supplement their diet with meat, since plant cultivation alone could not provide them with enough sustenance. Furthermore, the Maya kept chickens, which may have been domesticated for their eggs rather than their meat, because eggs are a good source of protein and fat, making them an ideal food source during times of famine. Finally, the Maya kept bees and collected honey, which may have been used as a sweetener or medicine due to its antibacterial properties. All of this evidence suggests that the Maya were doing everything they could to obtain food, but ultimately they were still starving. This could have led them to abandon their cities and move to the countryside where there was more wild food available. Another theory to explain the collapse of the Maya civilization is the war theory. This theory suggests that the Maya were constantly at war with each other, and eventually these wars caused the civilization to collapse. According to this theory, the Maya were divided into many small kingdoms that were always fighting each other. These wars were over land, resources, and power, and they eventually became too much for the Maya to handle. The constant warfare led to the destruction of their cities and the death of their people, and this eventually caused the civilization to collapse. Evidence for this theory includes the fact that the Maya kept weapons, such as spears and arrows, and they also kept shields and armor to protect themselves from their enemies. Additionally, the Maya kept prisoners of war, which suggests that they captured enemy soldiers during battle. Furthermore, the Maya kept records of their battles, and these records show that there was constant warfare between the Maya kingdoms. Finally, the Maya kept trophies from their enemies, such as skulls and shields, which suggests that they were proud of their military victories. All of this evidence suggests that the Maya were constantly at war, and this constant warfare could have eventually led to the collapse of their civilization. Another theory to explain the collapse of the Maya civilization is the trade theory. This theory suggests that the Maya were heavily reliant on trade with other civilizations, and when those civilizations collapsed, the Maya were left without the resources they needed to survive. According to this theory, the Maya were dependent on other civilizations for luxury goods such as obsidian, which was used for tools and weapons, as well as for jade, which was used for jewelry and other ornaments. Additionally, the Maya were dependent on other civilizations for food, such as maize, which was a staple of the Maya diet. When the other civilizations collapsed, the Maya were left without access to these resources, and this ultimately led to the collapse of their civilization. Evidence for this theory includes the fact that the Maya kept records of their trade networks, and these records show that they traded with other civilizations such as the Classic, Maya, the Zapotec, and the Mixtec. Additionally, the Maya kept artifacts from other civilizations, which suggests that they valued the goods and resources that these civilizations produced. Furthermore, the Maya kept records of their interactions with other civilizations, and these records show that they maintained peaceful relations with some of their neighbors. Finally, the Maya kept tributes from other civilizations, which suggests that they were powerful enough to demand goods and resources from their neighbors. All of this evidence suggests that the Maya were heavily reliant on trade with other civilizations, and when those civilizations collapsed, the Maya were left without the resources they needed to survive. So why did the Maya civilization collapse? Ultimately, there is no single reason that can explain the collapse of this great civilization. It is likely that a combination of factors led to the decline of the Maya, and these factors varied over time. One possibility is that the Maya were unable to keep up with the growing population, leading to food shortages and eventually starvation. Additionally, the Maya may have been unable to defend themselves against outside invaders, leading to the destruction of their cities and the death of their people. Finally, the Maya may have been unable to adapt to changing environmental conditions, such as a change in climate or the depletion of natural resources, leading to the collapse of their civilization. It is important to remember that the Maya did not disappear after 900 AD. Their descendants are still alive today and living in the Yucatan Peninsula and other parts of Central America. Additionally, the Maya civilization had a significant impact on the cultures of the people who lived in the area after they collapsed. For example, the Maya language is still spoken by millions of people today, and many of the archaeological sites of the Maya civilization are popular tourist destinations. What do you think caused the collapse of the Maya civilization? Let me know in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe for more content. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.